So I request all of you to please turn on your camera. So beginning with the webinar, ICS works in two departments. First is one-to-one counseling department and the second is training department. So in one-to-one counseling department, we have several. Okay. We have professionals who provide one-to-one counseling, and in the training department, we have several diploma psychology courses for the people who want to learn, who are from the psychology and from the non-psychology background. So I request all of you to please turn on our camera so that we can start with the webinar. So today's webinar is taken up by Sonali. She's our RCI licensed psychologist, and now she's going to take the webinar.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening. Can we have everyone on the screen?
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
I still can't see everyone. Quickly turn on your videos. Anyone is aware about what kind of topic that we are going to cover today?
Play therapy.
Ma'am, it's play therapy.
Okay. And anyone has a base of what is it to begin with?
Ma'am, play therapy comprises of something, a therapy done in a very playful genre. Usually this kind of therapy is done with adolescent or kids or toddler or with usually kids or like we can say kids are in very engaged in very drastic effects like they are so much distracted. Just to change that distraction in a very positive genre, we just do play therapy.
Okay. What else?
Maybe this is helpful for the middle childhood level, the
Yeah.
children who is having
Absolutely.
some disorders and who is really need the parents had come and the child cannot sit in one place and we have to make them to focus what are we talking about and unknowingly. So such kind of playful methods will help them to get focus on it, and the counselor can understand where is the problem and how exactly we can go further to solve the issues.
Okay. Anyone else
Thank you.
who has
Well,
a understanding?
sorry. Yeah, I feel being a educationist, I feel that sometimes, it's very difficult to understand how a child can express. He or she has some hidden feelings inside. So to understand the feelings and I conduct storytelling sessions. So I have a feeling that when I'm doing some kind of action in front of them, they're not able to express. So understanding their moods and their, in a very playful method with art and craft, also with some kind of props. So their inner feelings are projected in a very comfortable way. So I feel as a counselor or a teacher, I feel this is what we're going to learn right now today.
Okay. Anyone else? Neha ma'am?
Ma'am, in this therapy, we generally we find the issue through play. Like the issues with the child through play.
All right. Amruta ma'am?
बच्चा जो नॉर्मली क्वेश्चन आंसर हम जब सेशन होता है जो नहीं कह पाता, वो शायद प्ले थेरेपी थ्रू हमें पता चले उसके बिहेवियर से, उसकी थिंकिंग प्रोसेस हमें शायद प्ले थेरेपी थ्रू पता चल सकती, इसीलिए
Okay. Uma ma'am?
Sometimes children are very timid. They cannot open up. So just having to make the rapport and make them speak comfortably with us. We used to have we conduct some plays with them like puppet show or
whatever, even board games sometimes. And sometimes dancing with them even sometimes helps to open up and give the what they are thinking or what is going on in their mind.
Okay.
So play therapy works like this, so that we can identify their issues. They can be more comfortable sharing.
All right. I can see a lot of you have joined in but not have kept their videos on. Please remember the certification will only be provided once you are participating with your videos on. Please do that. That's mandatory. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Just like
yes.
you guys mentioned,
Yes.
play therapy is a form of counseling or a psychotherapy to help children express their thoughts, their emotions through the whole process of play. When I talk about, okay, since you guys just told me what is play therapy and we've read through the definition as well, but what is play? Play as a whole. What does the term mean?
Interaction in the positive manner,
Okay,
happy manner.
okay. What else?
Learning with enjoy.
Learning and enjoying, okay.
Learning with actions, we can say.
Learning with actions, okay.
Learning with
And
creativity and
doing,
their own minds, to
okay.
encourage them to use their own minds.
What
Ma'am,
else?
understanding the ability of kids
Understanding the
with
abilities of kids, okay.
And for kids, play is fun.
Is it distressing for them or is it more stressing?
Distress.
Distressing.
It's de-stressing.
It's de-stressing. Yeah.
Okay,
Distressing.
okay. And play has to be directed or indirect. It can be, something that's does not require any direction. Children go on their own and, do it.
It can be both, no?
Beginning with maybe it can be with their own wish. Then we can make them to get some target oriented, what exactly we are looking from them. So it should be organized maybe.
Okay. So it should be planned.
Children
Hmm.
children can understand that how to start the task and how to complete the task at their own. They start using their brain.
So with play, do they experiment? Yes.
Right.
Yes.
they
Sometimes
explore.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ma'am, it's more like understanding their mind and then dwelling into that mind and then constructing those therapies in a playful manner, which what we feel like is a right way. Like some
Okay.
kids may
I'm
be
right
like,
now talking about play in particular. Play is something which is an experience for a child. Think from a child's perspective. Why I'm asking you this? So we will get from there. It's an experience for a child once he's hands-on with it. He's exploring maybe the unexplored. Maybe he's never played some particular thing. He's exploring there. Yeah. He might also be imitating at that point of time. Maybe some other peer is doing something, so there is imitation also that's happening. He's learning from
Yes.
the environment, the surroundings around him. Yeah.
Yes.
There's modeling that's happening. He's also copying what others are saying, doing. Yeah. It also builds in some kind of social skills wherein there are playmates. It's not always that children play alone. Yeah. Children can play in group also. Yeah. So again, it builds all of that. That is why the basic reason play therapy is being successful and it's considered to be a good therapy because of these many reasons. That yes, it inculcates a sense of exploration. It inculcates a sense of a good experience for the child in a very friendly manner so that the child does not feel burdened and is able to express himself very freely, which he is not able to do in words. Yeah. So It is safe and supportive environment where children can process their experiences and develop some sense of coping skills from that. So if we look at the history part, the concept was given and traced in the early 20th century by a lot of psychologists. They worked, and then development happens. And then professionally, mid 20th century, play therapy got its recognition. So a lot of people have worked together. These are some of the names which are there, but there are many more who have worked extensively in this field to bring about play therapy as a whole. So, looking at the role of a play therapists use varieties of various techniques to help children express themselves. They create a safe, supportive environment for emotional exploration. I think some of you have mentioned where they are not able to express their emotions, they are not able to explore what they're actually undergoing, they're not able to accept that what they are undergoing. So this will pave their way for the emotional exploration. There are different benefits of play therapy. One, emotional expression. Play therapy allows children to express and explore their emotions in a safe and non-threatening environment. It can lead to positive changes in behavior and reduction in disruption and destructive actions. Children can improve their communication skills both verbally and non-verbally through play therapy sessions. So both verbal and non-verbal way of expression can happen, and their expression can get improved with this play therapy. How? Any example? Those who have attended my session, I had taught about this, if you guys remember.
Like if we are, maybe doing a storytelling session, and if we want to enhance the communications, so with help of, maybe some kind of props, or we can, give them some word bank or some kind of, phonetically or the words. So they try to communicate that once they are imitating with their peers. Like if it's, if it's a normal simple word of dig, so they will say it's just digging or some kind of a thing. So projecting in a very, like as you said, in a playful, joyful method, they can enhance the communication.
Yes. Also, another way that is absolutely right, what you said, adding on to it, children learn the best through, multisensory techniques. Yes. Some of you were there yesterday also in the session when I was discussing about why it should be colorful, why children things should be so bright, so attractive. Why? Because children learn the best with multisensory techniques. Even we learn the best with multisensory techniques. Have you all observed the things that are more, catchy, the things that are more, highlighted or prominent, those things we attract and we are like, oh, this I remember. We are able to recall that. Yeah. But the things that were plain, simple, bland, maybe we tend to forget. Yeah. Have you all observed with yourself, especially those who are good visual learners will be able to relate to that. Yeah. Visually, when we see a lot of information, remember your college days or your school days where you had so much of text to remember, but only the main points we had to do. Yeah. So in basic terms, think from that. When we make the children write, right? For example, we are making them write basic ABCD. Let's just take a very basic example. Yeah. We use the sand to make them write. There are a lot of other ways, but one part of it, we use them with the sand. Once they get fluent with the formations with the sand, then only we make them write on the paper. Yeah. But first we make them use the multisensory techniques or the ways. Children learn better with the multisensory techniques. Why do we make them use clay first? First, it's colorful. That gives them that sensory touch. So it's again a playway method of teaching the child particular thing. Again, it is also a way of expression. If you are teaching a child to play in a manner, then indirectly you are teaching a child something or the other. Yeah. So that enhances and increases the communication per se. Both verbal and non-verbal, both, they get enhanced. Children get cues, just like Bindu ma'am was mentioning about that. So children can see cues and then, respond, especially those who resist finding the right word, what we were supposed to say when their expressive language is low. That's where it gets into trouble. And then, that's where it gets into effect, that yes, this is something that we were looking at, and this is where the improvement is happening. Children are learning through different cues, empowerment and confidence. So play therapy helps in building self-esteem, empowering children to cope with their challenges, and also boost their confidence. So a lot of times, a lot of children have low self-esteem. They think that, okay, they are not good enough. Maybe they don't look up to the mark. Maybe they are not, their parents expect too much from them. They feel that, had they been somebody else, they would have been better. They're born at the wrong place. So all those things make them think that, okay, we are not good enough. So a lot of children have low self-esteem. So this can definitely help them develop that social skill and develop their work on themselves as well, and have that confidence that I can also do it. There are different types of play therapy techniques. Art therapy is part of it, music therapy, puppet therapy, which involves the storytelling, role playing through puppet interaction. So, these are some part or some techniques that are being used in the play therapy. So play therapy is again for different age groups. It might be focusing on different things. For the early infants and toddlers, it focuses on the early development and attachment. Then preschool and early childhood age, learning through play and creativity. Just, I think some of you were already mentioning all this. School age students expressing their emotions, social skills, all these will be targeted. Then moving on to the adolescents, they exploration, self-expression, that is their primary thing. So mostly it is being done for the younger ones and the adolescents. I think this everybody already knows. You guys mentioned it already in the initial part. So play therapy is tailored to different age groups to specific developmental needs. Again, for the infants, toddlers, it focuses on something different than what it is focusing on for the adolescents. Why do you think there should be a variation on the target that we are looking at? Why shouldn't one play therapy technique be applied to all? I think that should be there, no? One technique and all should be the same.
We are working with children. All individuals are different. So one thing will not work with everyone.
Okay, what else? You're right.
Development of mind, like age wise, the grasping power and everything also matters. We start seeing things in a different way as we mature with the age.
Right. What else?
And ma'am, each individual has their own persona, has their own individuality. Like each kid is different from the other kid. Maybe some would be very good in dancing, rather another would be very good in drawing. So based upon that, we start indulging in those activities which impress the kid at that moment.
Right.
That we judge with our counseling, I guess.
Yes. So again, the needs of every age group will be different. So based on the needs, we are going to tailor make the therapy, and we're going to set our goals, the targets accordingly. Yeah. So a child who is very young might not be in a need of identity exploration and self-expression. He's like, I'm a child right now. Let me be a child. I don't want to know my identity. I don't want to be an adult. Neither be in that, who am I situation right now. That's for the adolescents. I don't want that. Right? So maybe he wants to learn through play and creativity. That should be the goal. Okay? So this is why it is important, and always remember that you should always think before making the goal. What is the age group of the child? What are we targeting at? What are we looking at from that perspective? Play therapy for different specific concerns. So some of the concerns I've laid down that yes, these are the areas where play therapy can be effective, especially in the trauma. Play therapy provides a safe environment from trauma survivors to express and process their experiences through play, helping them to heal and regain a sense of control. So, what kind of trauma, can someone give an example where play therapy would be effective?
Ma'am, when a kid has scored less mark in exams and peer pressure is that like my child should be a topper, my child should score very good, and nowadays parents are like, my child should come first in class, they should score very good marks. But like for me, it's important that the child should be in a stage of learning rather than scoring top 5. This is missing. Because of this, the trauma is very much in an increasing state in a kid.
Right. Also, my question was, I'm coming back to it again, trauma. What kind of trauma in particular can we think of where play therapy can be?
Yeah, going to school is a biggest problem or fearful issue. Uh, Keeping themselves away from their comfortable zone, home zone.
Exactly.
All such things may, a child can get into trauma. We may feel it as very little one, very little issue, but for a child, it may be a biggest thing. For more than 6 hours, I have to keep my parents away from me, and I have to be with stranger for the beginning of their,
Separation
school days.
anxiety. That's what you're
Yeah,
trying to say.
yeah. In that time, a counselor can help a child how playful, why schooling, all such things may be. Through playful method, one counselor can, make them too comfortable.
Okay. Anyone else?
Physical abuse.
Physical
Ma'am,
abuse. Child
yeah,
sexual.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. One example, Tare Zameen Pe picture, the character Ishan. So
What are
it
you
was
trying to say?
trauma, like.
Can I say? Ma'am,
Yes.
if someone abuse a child or like bullying a child, so
Yeah.
he'll be in trauma, something like that.
Parents' pressure.
Losing
Okay. What else?
losing someone
Can be
close to them.
responsible, no? Like even in the school
Okay,
age.
one by one, we all can speak. One by one. Khushbu ma'am, you go ahead.
Losing the
Khushbu,
closest of a relative also makes
Uma ma'am, mute
trauma.
yourself.
Yes.
After that, you
Yeah,
can speak.
sure.
Okay, ma'am, may I proceed?
Yes, please.
Okay. So what I feel is that even if children are going in school, so it's not only about the parental environment that I feel, even the teachers are there, because I myself am a teacher. In my school environment, I have seen some teachers, they are rude to children, or they keep on nagging the children for the same thing. They don't try to see the skills in children from overall point of view. They just nag them for one small error that they have. So even the child will start thinking, am I lacking here? Am I lacking here? So by neglecting all the good points, that child will only focus on the things that are pointed out on him or her. So I feel even that can be a trauma for the kid.
Okay. Yes. What else?
Ma'am, if someone loses their parent or some relative in very young age,
Yes.
maybe it
The
can be
loss of a
trauma.
loved one. It
Loved
could
one.
be parent, it could be grandparents also.
Right.
Children are very close to their grandparents. And
Right.
I've seen so many cases where they get affected so much because of their loss of grandparent. And especially when they are young, because they get so attached to it. Maybe maximum time, especially with working parents, they spend with their grandparents, and that's like a big shock for them, for losing them. So that is one. What else could be a trauma?
Sometimes, ma'am, it could be the comparisons, like if a child is being compared, to the other person, and that child is not doing well. So that comparison also creates a inferiority complex within a kid or a soul, that, oh, I'm not able to do it. So that
Yes.
trauma is also very much, it's a hidden kind of a trauma for a child.
Yes, that will also come under bullying part only. That will be part of it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Next, now coming to anxiety. So, children with anxiety can benefit from play therapy as it helps them to explore their fears, their worries in a non threatening way. So, in a playful manner, they are able to get exposed to their anxiety, the fearful situations that they have, or maybe they are scared of certain things, they are exposed to that, and yet they are learning how to cope in that situation, and they are able to regulate their emotions successfully. So that is again a good way of teaching them the coping strategies to deal with their anxiety in particular, or even the anxious behaviors. I won't say typically the anxiety also. A lot of times, a lot of children are just anxious in general. So then also play therapy works. Behavioral problems. So play therapy addresses behavioral issues, help children identify and express their emotions, fostering lot of problem solving techniques and skills, empathy, and healthy social interaction. Because play involves more people as well, it definitely enhances one's social skills. Once it is enhancing one's social skills, then the way you deal with that play, the way you are playing, so that how you are solving that situation, that again helps us with good problem solving skills, and it helps us to have better interactions with our peers and also our elders for that matter. Because a lot of times you make something, you make a particular play and you are engrossed in it, and when adults ask, you try to explain your point of view, so that also enhances and creates that sense of communication, which a lot of times, a lot of communication gaps are there. So, which also bridges the gap between that part. So, definitely it enhances and reduces the gaps that are there and reduces the negative behavior and makes the child more, healthy in terms of expressing himself emotionally. Okay, so that equips the child to deal with it. There are a lot of ethical considerations, like it is in the other therapies also. Confidentiality, boundaries should be maintained, the consent should be taken from the parents, all of that. Then certification process, again, it will depend on, where you are working, what you are doing. So there are professional courses related to play therapy as well. You can if you want to. Otherwise, what I recommend to all my students is, I will recommend to you also, that you can use different techniques of play therapy even in your sessions, in your counseling, in your the therapy sessions that you're taking, or maybe one-to-one sessions that you take at school also, and at your clinic if you're doing your own practice, or if you're practicing it, you can use some parts of the techniques, and you can use it in your sessions. That's what I do. I'm also not a trained play therapist, but I pick up certain things, and I'm like, okay, this part I can work with this child because it matches with my requirements, so I can use it as a technique. Okay? So it's a very effective way to express ourselves. But yes, I cannot deny the fact that there are trained play therapists. So there's a course also full-fledged that is there for it. Importance of play therapy, emotional expression. We've discussed stress reduction. Definitely, when it is reducing our anxiety, our stress will definitely go away and we will be better, uh, and our emotional well-being mainly will enhance. It helps us equip with our coping skills and strategies that we can use. It enhances communication per se. So there are different types of play therapy techniques. One is, like we discussed, art therapy, which children use as a form of art forms to express themselves. Another one is sand play therapy. With the use of sand, they make miniatures, symbols to represent child's inner world and experiences. Puppet therapy, uses puppets as a medium for children to communicate. They do role plays, work through challenging situations. So let's look at it one by one. Art therapy utilizes creative expression. You can do freehand painting with them, drawing, sculpting to facilitate communication and their emotional well being. It allows you to explore their thoughts, emotions experienced through non-verbal medium, which they can't express in words. Lot of things they just can't say what happened with me. XYZ situation happened with me, but they might just draw it. With the strokes that they go, you get to know that there is something that is there. So it is a non-verbal expression which promotes self-discovery and stress reduction. Lot of times even we don't know what is wrong with us. So definitely it helps us figure out also, where is my stress? What is it, something that's bothering me? Even I don't know. So while you engage in that art, you have that free flow of expression. Sand play therapy is a non-verbal expressive form of therapy utilizing a tray of sand and miniature figures. So it allows clients to create a physical representation of their internal world, as you can see from the picture, providing a safe space of expression and exploration. So a lot of scenes can be drawn, a lot of children engage in a lot of creative sculptures that they make with those thing, and then they paint, they make it, and then the scenarios that they describe, the stories that they tell along with that while making it, it is lovely. It's a delight to see what kind of, you won't even imagine the child who is just very calm sitting in the way he narrates the story after making that. So it's amazing to see those small things that they make. It's actually something that is, you won't expect it from a child who's not speaking at all, and then suddenly they come up with so much. Puppet therapy involves using hand puppets to help children express their emotions in a safe and a non-threatening way. Therapists can use puppets to facilitate conversations and role play, allowing children to open up and explore their feelings. So this is mostly led by the therapist. Yeah. Here in the sand one, children were independent in, doing what they were doing. But here this is led by therapist. So therapist takes that initiative of the puppet and then continues it with the child. Role playing and drama therapy. Why do you think role plays are helpful? Even we do a lot of role plays in our class. Why do you think it's helpful?
It is a practical. Yeah, sorry, please
Sorry.
carry on. Please carry
मैं बात कर सकूं?
on. Correct.
जी, वो हम उस कैरेक्टर में इन्वॉल्व होके मतलब डीप जब इन्वॉल्व होते हैं हम, तो जो प्ले कर सकते हैं वो रियल लगता है कि हम वही कैरेक्टर बन गए हैं। तब जो बच्चा एक्सप्रेस होता है तो हम समझ सकते हैं उसके मन में एग्जैक्ट क्या चल रहा है।
Okay. What else?
Ma'am, can you repeat the question?
My question is that why do you think role playing helps us? What do we learn from role playing? We do it in our classes also. Why do we do it?
The child can do the voice modulation and what exactly the concern the child has, and unknowingly he or she may express towards the counselor, so that counselor can understand where is the problem. And second thing, child will be happy where exactly by looking at what a child can be, less stressed. The counselor can understand, so that the counselor can poke into his personality and to make him or her to come out of their problem.
Okay. Bindu ma'am, you wanted to say something?
I think by doing role modeling and dramatization, it is basically a two-way process. So as I think Vaniji or somebody said, so like we have to enact ourselves and become as a child to understand what exactly he is undergoing and be in the character of that particular, what do you call, like a story or whatever character, so that, he's comfortable, he's in a comfort zone, and we're able to understand. So role modeling and dramatizing in that character is very important.
Yes.
This is what I
Manish
feel.
sir?
Vani ma'am, I thought got that, but I want to say.
Okay, all right. You were raising hands, so I just thought I'll give you a chance to speak. Yes, you're all right. So it is basically a good technique to encourage our clients to explore their emotions. So while they are into that role, they are trying to explore their emotions. And then when they are exchanging roles, also, they gain insight, and it helps us build, mainly it equips them particularly to develop those coping skills. Had I been in that situation, I would have dealt in that way. So, lot of times the solution lies within us, but we, due to a lot of stressful situations, we are not able to have that insight. So role playing, dramatization, and all these things where we are acting out certain things or certain scenarios, it helps us have gain some sort of good insight into our behaviors. What are we doing? Okay, how are we feeling? Because see, when you guys are also in a role play situation where one person becomes the client, one person becomes the therapist, a person who becomes the client tries to fit in himself into the exact situation, right? How I feel if I'm a client, if I'm saying that I am struggling in math and I am not able to do well at my academics, then you actually feel that yes, I'm actually struggling, no matter how good you are at maths in your real life. But when you are in that character, you go out there expressing yourself. And where does it come from? Comes from within. You get that insight. Okay, had I been at this situation, I would have done this. So a lot of situations are given or are there wherein children are made to do role plays where they give their own solutions. How would they react into that particular situation? Which ultimately, definitely, they have to apply in their real life as well. But they are just doing it in the form of role play to gain that insight. And that, when they do, that definitely helps them have that insight into their behavior and help them learn, okay, this is the coping strategy. If this is the situation, this is how I'm going to do. This is how I use that in the play. Now in real life also I have to apply that. So they kind of, explore themselves, which was left unexplored because the situations weren't piled to them, or they weren't aware about that situations in particular, about how they are feeling. This technique is particularly effective in addressing communication and interpersonal relationship challenges. So a lot of times communication concerns, interpersonal relationship challenges come in, and this is exactly where it helps us give good insight. So, a lot of board games could be part of play, outdoor team building activities could be there, definitely. As you can see from the pictures, we all know what kind of outdoor activities can be used. Any idea? Think about team building activities, what you can do, even the ones that you do at your office. They are good problem solving techniques. Simple, basic, nothing complex. What outdoor activity you all could engage in? What kind of sport?
Football,
Okay.
basketball.
How about relay race? Will that be a
Yeah.
good team building activity? Yeah. What else?
Yes, ma'am.
Kabaddi.
Yes.
It's a great activity.
What
Tug
else?
of war.
Tug of war. Exactly. What else?
Dahi
Now
handi,
everybody
dahi
is
handi.
there. Huh?
Dahi handi.
Which one?
Dahi handi, Gopala.
Dahi handi. Okay. All right. What else?
Can also
Blind guide.
technique.
Hmm.
That blind guide.
Blind guide, yes. Kamal sir, I couldn't hear you. Please speak again.
Homogeneous games, traditional games like गुल्ली
Hmm.
डंडा,
Hmm.
रीजन के जो रीजन में होती हैं.
Yes. Yes.
लगोरी.
Ma'am, rope pulling.
Yes, tug of war, somebody had mentioned. I
Yeah.
think I don't know if you guys are aware, Kho sabko pata hai, that is
Yes,
also a
yes.
good that is
Kho,
also
yeah.
a good team
Yes.
building
Right.
activity which people use in their offices also. So this all these things inculcate some kind of play, and in a group session you could use these to build problem solving techniques and skills. So art therapy can be used as a part of it. A lot of board games could be used to have children have that social interaction and also help them with bettering their decision making skills, because that a lot of times this is also something that is required, and a lot of children get confused and how do I make decisions, especially with the adolescent ones. Board games are the great way to inculcate that decision making power, because they are so indecisive. So many adolescents I see that they're like, I don't know what am I really don't know how am I going to survive. I'm about to be an adult, but I don't know how are things going to be. I still want to go back to the same stage. And then when you say something childish to them, do you think I'm a child? I'm not a child anymore. So, that's their confusion. And they struggle with lot of decision making power. They small little decisions they might rely, or they might be very impulsive. Okay, I'm just gonna take this decision and let's see how it goes without thinking about any kind of consequence. What is going to happen? And a lot of them will not speak, so they will be with their mouths shut, but they will feel from inside where they are not expressing themselves. Incorporating storytelling in play therapy, engaging narratives. Storytelling captivates children's attention, allowing them to express complex emotions through imaginative tales. It's an emotional expression. Stories provide a safe space for children to share their feelings, their fears, and their hopes. Characters and plottiness in stories can help serve as a symbolic reflections of a child's inner world. What do you mean by a symbolic representation? Any idea? What could be in storytelling? What could it be a symbolic representation? It's simple, nothing complex. Go ahead, try your luck.
Some puppets used in storytelling.
So they are
Props. The props.
they act as symbols, basically.
Symbols.
Yeah,
Body
or the
language.
characters that we use particularly.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
this is this. So we are trying to represent and make a symbolic interaction that yes, this is this, and this is what the puppet is doing, or this is what the character is doing. So that is again whatever the child is going to speak, that will also reflect what they're actually thinking from inside as well. It's not something that every time they're going to cook up something. It could be a reflection of what is going on with them. So definitely play therapy helps in utilizing techniques, offer more, extensive manner, enhance our communication skills, our emotional expression, problem solving, decision making. Why I'm repeating all this? Because this is exactly what we need to target at when we make goals for these children. And you can use it in your counseling sessions where you're working on these aspects to help and facilitate a good emotional expression. My next question to all of you before we conclude this part is, why do you think a sense of play in anyone's life, be it younger child or be it older adult, is important? What does it do to us? Like when I asked you about some of the outdoor games, I specifically asked about it because I know everyone could relate to it. Maybe somewhere or the other they would have played this. Yeah. And that smile you all had on your face was a next level thing that was there. While you were sharing, you could actually live that. And I could see some of you also imagined yourself pulling the rope also in tug of war. Literally, I could see it from your expressions. We all want to be at that stage where we can express ourselves freely. I think we're all adults and bound with some or the other limitations where we keep ourselves, limited that, okay, maybe this is something, I'm an adult now, I cannot speak. I should not speak now. This is something that, will not suit me, will not suit my personality. If I say something, what will others think about me? Yeah, we all have that fear of judgment. So in play therapy, the best part is that no one is going to judge you. Even you as psychologists, as counselors, try to engage in any kind of activity or game. Maybe once a month, go in for some kind of play activity. It is theoretically said that it works with, mostly up till adolescence. I can vouch for that it works very well with adults as well. I have used it in my sessions with adults and it does wonders. They were so happy, so excited. Even the ones who had a lot of physical limitations, those were also the ones who fully participated, forgetting whatever difficulties they had. So to the best of their potential. So once a month, keep a note. Try to engage in any kind of activity where you feel that, okay, this is where I'm going to find some kind of happiness. It could be as simple as just sitting on the ground, doing nothing as well. That is also play. Just touching the mud, that is also play. Yeah. I think this much everyone can do that. Yes. Can we all promise ourselves for doing it? I know it's a play therapy session for children, and especially you are here for your own children for it. And I am like telling you to focus on yourself because,
Yes.
because once you enjoy it, you'll be able to apply it in your sessions. Because then you know how it feels like to interact and be a part of the play. That fun, that excitement that's there. Because when we become adults, no, we tend to forget. And we tell our children, why? Why do you want to play all the time? Play is so important. Until unless they play, they can't learn. उनका दिमाग नहीं चलता. Understand? My brain does not work. Just like for few things we as adults we have that, because of XYZ things our brain will not work. It could be caffeine, it could be this, it could be that. Maybe it could be our daily task that until we accomplish we can't sleep. Yeah.
No, for
So
adults
it's
also very important, ma'am, that the
yes,
playing actually.
yes,
It
yes.
will reduce our stress and we will become a child and we can enjoy and we can restart.
Yes, absolutely. Can we do one fun play activity right now? Can we all be
Yes.
on screen? Can we all have our videos on? It's going to be, sounding like, okay, why is she making us do it? But it's a very good way of doing it. This is the only thing that I could quickly think of while you all were interested in it. And let's put our hands over here like this. Let's all put our hands over here. Both hands. I still can't see everyone. Jaldi karo. Everyone is getting tired with putting their hands up. Okay. I could see some of you moving also like children. Yeah. Okay. Can we shake our hands to the best of our potential? Just shake your hands. Free yourself with all the worries that you have. I know it's almost you're trying to end your day. Just free yourself with all the worries that you have. Just let it loose. Just let it loose. Let it go. Let it go. Just throw it away. Those who are there with your videos off, I hope that you are doing it. Don't think about what others will think about you. Let them think whatever they want to. Just throw all your worries. Just throw them. Throw it. You don't want it. Throw. I can see a lot of you doing it very lightly. That means you have very less worries, huh? I can't see that jhatka coming in. Okay, chalo, great. Until you are tired, you can stop. If not, you can still throw your worries. I'm happy to do that. Okay, some of you would still have a lot of things in your head. You can practice it at home as well. This is one very good technique which, we do it with the younger children. Yeah, I don't know if, I think some of you are here working with very young children. I'm aware about. You do it in your classes just as a form of an activity, just as an icebreaker thing, but this is very therapeutic. Try to throw your worries.
It felt very light after doing.
It does. It does. Maybe once in 15 days, try to do it. When you are there, just sit in your room or just sit anywhere, because this will not require any equipment. Yeah, just ensure nobody is around you, because then you might get distracted and might not be able to throw that much, when people are around. Hai na? So when you are alone, sitting in your own room, so you can throw as much as you can and you can feel light. Okay? So this is a very good way for working on yourself. Until you experience what you are going to do it with your children, you will not be able to actually do it with children. Try and experience play and then maybe use it as a technique in your session. You will have that difference. And you will see a lot of difference in children also when you are actually doing it. Okay? So that's it from my side for play therapy. This was an introductory session for play therapy, and I really enjoyed with all of you participating. Thank you so much. Okay, then.
Amazing.
Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you,
Take care.
ma'am.
Actually,
Thank
this
you.
technique should be